call the meeting to order.
Okay.
Salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first order of business is board members swearing in. We're going to get the infamous book that's used once a year.
You're right.
Yes. Strange day. Strange weekend, strange day.
You and I talked about it, but we haven't talked.
Oh, I assume she's
Yeah,
always on top of that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to. Okay. Should raise your right hand. I, Janet McFadridge,
I, Janet McFadridge,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York,
I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the
And
State
that
of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of mayor
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of mayor
for 2 years
for 2 years
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
If you wanna. I'll just fill that out later.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll stand in front of everybody. I, Nicole Malinsky,
I, Nicole Malinsky,
do solemnly
do
swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of
And-
the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
for 2 years
for 2 years,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
We'll have you sign there. Congratulations. Okay, I'm gonna go for this one. I, Kim Trombley,
I, Kim Trombley,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
for 2 years
for 2 years,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Kim and Nikki,
And Janet.
continuing your service. All right, next we have roll call of members.
Trustee Trombley.
Here.
Trustee Malinsky.
Here.
Trustee Connell.
Here.
Mayor McFetrich.
Here. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting on March 10th?
So moved.
And there's a second?
Second.
Any corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And may I have a motion to approve the minutes of the March 24th meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any corrections? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. May I have a motion to close the regular meeting, please?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I need a motion to go into the public hearing, discussing the annual budget.
So moved.
And a second, please? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Right, as we have,
We might need to wait till 6:45 to
You may wanna
actually
skip
open
that and go
we're
back.
5 minutes off.
You can always open it back up.
Go back to
Anybody
it
comes in.
and start the organizational meeting.
Okay, so I need a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
And is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And a motion to go into the organizational meeting.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That motion carries. All right, let's go to the organizational meeting. All right, so the first part is the following appointments were offered by the mayor. Thomas Bernane, be and is hereby appointed village attorney for a term of 1 year, expiring on April 6, 2026, at the retainer set by annual budget appropriation. Mary Spring, be and is hereby appointed deputy clerk for a term of 1 year, expiring on April 6th, 2026, at the salary set by annual budget appropriation. Michael Joliker, be and is hereby appointed superintendent of public works for a term of 1 year, expiring April 6th, 2026, at the salary set by annual budget appropriation. Chris Matat, be and is hereby appointed fire, building codes and zoning enforcement officer for a term of 1 year, expiring April 6th, 2026, at the salary set by annual budget appropriation. Juanita Munoz, be and is hereby appointed records access manager for a term of 1 year, expiring April 6th, 2026, at no salary. Mary Spring, be and is hereby appointed registrar of vital statistics for a term of 1 year, expiring April 6th, 2026, at the salary set by annual budget appropriation. Ashleen Velardo is hereby appointed to the zoning board for a term of 5 years, expiring April 1st, 2030. Mark Grones is hereby appointed to the planning board for a term of 5 years, expiring April 1st, 2030. I need a motion to accept these appointments.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Mayor's committee appointments and designations. The following appointments were offered by the mayor. Deputy Mayor Charles Connor, Water and Sewer Commissioner Kim Trombley, Deputy Commissioner Charles Connor, Streets Sidewalk Commissioner Nikki Malinsky, Deputy Commissioner Kim Trombley, Equipment Tool Commissioner Charles Connor, Deputy Commissioner Joel Herzog, Building Property Commissioner Joel Herzog, Deputy Commissioner Nikki Malinsky, Parks Recreation Commissioner Nikki Malinsky, Deputy Commissioner Joel Herzog, Personnel Commissioner Kim Trombley, Deputy Commissioner Charles Connor, Harassment Committee Member Kim Trombley, Harassment Committee Member Joel Herzog, Shared Services Commissioner Charles Connor, Deputy Commissioner Nikki Malinsky, Insurance Commissioner Kim Trombley, Planning Board Liaison Charles Connor, Zoning Board Liaison Janet McFetridge, Champlain Fire District Liaison Janet McFetridge, Chairperson of the Zoning Board of Appeals is Peter Visconti, Vice Chairperson of the ZBA Greg Martin, Chairperson of the Planning Board Thomas Ryan, Vice Chairperson of the Planning Board Sue LaFave, Budget Officer Janet McFetridge, Recreation Committee Janet McFetridge, and Nikki Malinsky. May I have a motion to accept these appointments?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Board appointments. The following appointments were offered by the Board of Trustees. Claire Clark and Marie Dupuy be and are hereby appointed inspectors of election for a term of 1 year, expiring April 7th, 2026, at the salary set by annual budget appropriation, with Marie Dupuy as chairperson. Beverly Maynard B. and is hereby appointed village historian for a term of 1 year expiring April 7th, 2026 at the salary set by annual budget appropriation. May I have a motion to approve these appointments?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Board designations, official newspaper, the Press Republican, Plattsburgh, New York B, and hereby designated the official newspaper of the Village of Champlain during the year April 7th, 2025 through April 6th, 2026. A motion to approve this designation. And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Village Board meeting schedule. The following dates be and are hereby designated as the official meeting nights of the Village of Champlain Board of Trustees during the year April 7th, 2025 through April 6th, 2026. And the time being at 6:30 p.m. at the Village Office, 11104 Route 9, Champlain, New York. May 12th, 2025, June 9th, 2025, July 14th, 2025, August 11th, 2025, September 8th, 2025, October 6th, 2025, November 10th, 2025, December 8th, 2025, January 12th, 2026, February 9th, 2026, March 9th, 2026, April 6th, 2026, which will be the organizational meeting. Further, a copy of said resolution be forwarded to the news media and others having an interest in said meetings and requesting copies thereof, thereby officially notifying the public, as required by law, and in meeting the obligations of the Freedom of Information Act. Also, that said meeting dates be posted in one conspicuous place in the village as required by law. May I have a motion to approve this designation?
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Zoning Board of Appeals meeting schedule. The second Wednesday night of each month is hereby designated as the official meeting night of the Zoning Board of Appeals during the year April 7th, 2025 through April 6th, 2026. At the time of 6 p.m. at the Village Office, 11104 Route 9, Champlain, New York. Further, a copy of said resolution be forwarded to the news media and others having an interest in said meetings and requesting copies thereof, thereby officially notifying the public, as required by law, and in meeting the obligations of the Freedom of Information Act. Also, that said meeting dates be posted in one conspicuous place in the village as required by law. A motion to approve?
So move.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Planning Board meeting schedule. The third Wednesday night of each month is hereby designated as the official meeting night of the Planning Board during the year April 7th, 2025 through April 6th, 2026, at the time of 6 p.m. at the Village Office, 11104 Route 9, Champlain, New York. Further, a copy of said resolution be forwarded to the news media and others having an interest in said meetings and requesting copies thereof, thereby officially notifying the public, as required by law, and in meeting the obligations of the Freedom of Information Act. Also, that said meeting dates be posted in one conspicuous place in the village as required by law. May I have a motion to approve this?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. All right, so it is 6:45, I believe that's when our public hearing is scheduled. So may I have a motion to go out of the organizational meeting?
So move.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And a motion to go into the public hearing.
So moved.
And is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Okay, so we are now in the public hearing regarding the 2025-2026 annual budget. All right, as we have no one here from the public, I still would like the public to know what decisions were made on the annual budget. So I'm going to briefly summarize where we stand. So this is the village budget for 2025-2026 for the Village of Champlain. The fiscal year begins June 1st, 2025, and it ends on May 31st, 2026. For the general fund, we will be using a fund balance of $49,109 to balance the budget. And for the water fund, we will be using $43,313 of fund balance. For the sewer, we will be using $70,590 from the fund balance, in that particular fund. The tax rate for 2025-2026 will remain $4 per thousand. For the water fund budget, there are some increases. The village residential and commercial water rates are going to be increased from $7 per kgal to $7.55 per kgal. The town water rates will increase from $6.25 per kgal to $6.45 per kgal. For the sewer fund, residential sewer rates will be increased from $6 per kgal to $6.75. Residential sewer service fees will be increased from $37.50 to $47.50. Village commercial sewer rates will be increased from $8 per kgal to $9 per kgal. Village commercial sewer service fees will be increased from $65 per quarter to $70 per quarter. Outside village sewer rates will be increased from $13.28 per kgal to $15 per kgal. And town sewer rates will be increased from $13.28 per kgal to $15 per kgal. These rates go into effect on June 1st, 2025. Does anyone on the board have anything to add? No? All right, thank you. So given that there's no one here, I'd like a motion to please close that public hearing.
So moved.
And may I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And may we have a motion to go back into the regular meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that carries. All right, so, back to the organizational meeting. We are now on the organizational meeting. The 2026-2027 organizational meeting, the annual organizational meeting set for the 2026-2027 official year, and for the various appointments and committees, be and is hereby scheduled for April 6th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. at the village office, 11104 Route 9, Champlain, New York. May I have a motion to approve this designation?
So moved.
And a
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Youth Commission. Just a minute. I definitely need some water. The village shall continue its participation in and with the joint projects of the Town of Champlain Youth Program and with the Clinton County Youth Bureau as a member of said countywide youth organization. May I have a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Village policies. The Board of Trustees reviewed the following village policies: investment policy, procurement policy, personnel policy, rules of procedure for public meetings, sexual harassment prevention policy, social media policy, code of ethics, fund balance policy, smoking policy, drug and alcohol policy, and workplace violence policy. May I have a motion to approve all policies as
So
written?
moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Annual resolutions. Resolution for payment of claims. Whereas the Board of Trustees for the Village of Champlain has determined to authorize payment in advance of audit of claims for public utility services, postage, freight, and express charges. And whereas all such claims shall be presented at the next regular meeting of audit. And whereas the claimant and the officer incurring or approving the claim shall be jointly and severely liable for any amount disallowed by the Board of Trustees. Now therefore be it resolved, Section 1, that the Board of Trustees authorizes payment in advance of audit of claims for public utility services, postage, freight, and express charges. All such claims shall be presented at the next regular meeting for audit, and the claimant and officer incurring or approving the claims shall be jointly and severely liable for any amount disallowed by the Board of Trustees. And Section 2, this resolution shall take effect immediately. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And may I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution for mileage reimbursement. Whereas the Board of Trustees for the Village of Champlain has determined to pay a fixed rate for mileage as reimbursement to officers and employees of the village who use their personal automobiles while performing their official duties on behalf of the village. Now therefore be it resolved, Section 1, that the Board of Trustees shall approve reimbursement to such officers and employees at the rate of 60 cents per mile. And Section 2, this resolution shall take effect immediately. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution for official bank depositories. Whereas the Board of Trustees has determined that village law number 4-412, parentheses 3, parentheses 2, requires the designation of banks or trust companies for the deposit of all village monies. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees designates the following institutions as depositories for all monies received by the village treasurer, clerk, and receiver of taxes during the year, this is where I had to change something. Let's see,
That's really bad.
April 7th, 2025 through April 6th, 2026. TD Bank, Shazy Branch Office, Key Bank of New York, NA, Champlain Branch Office, Chase Manhattan Bank, New York, New York, Key Trust Company, Albany, New York, USDA Rural Development, Ithaca, New York, and Champlain National Bank, Champlain Branch Office. Section 2, that this resolution shall take effect immediately. A motion to approve.
So moved.
And they have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Standard workday and report resolutions. Be it resolved that the Village of Champlain hereby establishes the following as standard workdays for elected and appointed officials and will report the following days worked to the New York State and local employees retirement system based on the record of activities maintained and submitted by these officials to the clerk of this body. And you have the form in front of you. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is that it? Did I skip anything?
You think so?
All right. Thank you, everyone. Okay, now where is my agenda? Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, that's the organizational one, then the budget, there it is. I think I'm taking up enough room here, Nikki. All right, so, I finished with the organizational meeting. We have no one present from the community to, do any kind of presentation. So, report from the, code enforcement officer, I do not have that, I'm sorry, I meant to text him today and I forgot, so I will get that for you and get that in your boxes probably tomorrow. Here's my report. I would like to offer sincere thanks to those who voted in the recent election, re-electing Nikki Malinsky, Kim Champlain, and myself to our positions on this board. I take this job very seriously and work every day to make life here in Champlain Village affordable and safe with a good quality of life for all. Thank you for your continued support, suggestions, and questions. By working together, we will address problems and make improvements to our village. Here's a summary of some meetings and events that I've attended to represent the village. I continue to work on the comprehensive plan with the engineers and the town of Champlain. We are making good progress and will hold a second community meeting soon. Details on that will be provided. I attended the Chamber of Commerce St. Patrick's Breakfast, which recognized the Citizen of the Year, Bill Myers of Casella Systems. Congratulations to Bill, very, very well deserved. On March 18th, I traveled to Albany with several other North Country women to attend a celebration of Women's History Month. I also met with Leanne Yelton from Clinton Community College to discuss ways the village might connect with the college, as well as her efforts in theater and arts. It was a very productive conversation and I look forward to working with her further. One result of that discussion, and the board has already talked about this a bit, is that we will offer Shakespeare in the Park in the village of Champlain in August. I attended a couple of Zoom meetings regarding electrical rates and clean energy programs. International Slow Art Day was this past Saturday. I thank all who attended. We have participated in this event for nearly 10 years and are always delighted to see the support that the community shows for art activities. In addition, a brief update to the ash tree removal program. The county was awarded a grant. We talked about that over a year ago. Champlain Village was included, to remove the ash trees, which are all diseased or soon will be diseased. The County Soil and Water Office has not received an update on when that money will be dispersed or if it even will be dispersed. We'll have to wait and see how that progresses. Tom Champlain, Town Supervisor, and I will be meeting with a woman from the Lake Champlain Research Institute to discuss how we might be able to clean the Great Chazy riverbanks from all the downed trees, which have fallen or are blocking the waterway, making it difficult for boaters to pass through. I will give you more details on that next month. The village has received a grant from Stewart Shops to purchase a bench for the new park, which is going in on the corner of Church and Cedar Streets. Work on that small park will begin soon. Thank you to Stewart's for their continued support of the village of Champlain. Here are a couple of dates to add to your calendars. Earth Day and Arbor Day is April 26th in the morning. We'll start at the Champlain Meeting House and then we will go to wherever we decide to plant some trees. And plans are underway to host a Champlain Village Arts Fest on May 30th to the 31st. There will be music on Friday, May 30th, a painting exhibition and poetry reading. Details will be announced soon, and my guess is Nikki's probably going to add some details on that too. That's all I have, so thank you very much. Report from the trustees. Chuck?
I don't have much, but I just want to congratulate Janet, Nikki, and Kim on their election and new terms.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
That's it.
Okay, thanks. Nikki?
So along with Slow Art Day, the library had their annual Easter event again this past Saturday, which was very busy.
Oh, good.
with our raffles, I think it's the biggest that we've brought in, over $500.
That's amazing.
So we did really good, thank you to the community for that. And it was good to see, again, new faces. We had families that came from Plattsburgh, just because we hold it as a free event. The Easter Bunny is there and they can take the pictures if they want, so they don't have to pay for that. So it was
Oh,
nice to see families with a lot of kids, especially coming from, you know, out of our community. The Slow Art Day was nice.
Mhm.
It's always nice to see local artists showcase their art and tell us their history. And it was nice to see her paintings. You don't
Yes.
usually see her paintings outside of the paint and sip, so it
That's
was nice to see pictures. The library is still looking for some volunteers to serve on the board. Our next meeting is next week, Wednesday at 5:30. So public is welcome. As the village, we have to post our meetings. It is on our Facebook page, and the Clinton Essex Franklin Library System website. We are slowly updating all our policies, and we are working on our own website for the library, so we should have more information on that coming in the next few months. Arbor Day, we'll have children's activities for an hour before planting trees. It'll probably be something to do with birdseed, or the other thing, maybe like a little bee hut.
Oh,
I don't know, I have an idea.
okay. Sounds
See how that
cool.
goes. And with the May event, the art event, I do have a date set up for early May where anyone who is looking to be creative can join me at the meeting house, and I'll go over what it's all about. But you will be picking up a 12 by 12 inch canvas if you would like to participate, and you will have all of May to be creative on that canvas. And then at the end of the month, that Saturday, we will hold an art show at the meeting house, so we can display your art, kind of like a slow art day
Mhm.
display. We can go through and comment and discuss and view artwork from people in our community.
Yeah.
So it's to go along with the music, the art, and then Sunday, I'm planning a poetry event at the library. So we'll tie it all in as a weekend.
And the theme, I think, is gonna be the river.
river, yes, the theme is the river.
For the
The
painting,
painting,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so. Still working on some details, but we have our ideas
Yeah.
in place. So
Yeah.
that's all I have for now.
Thank you. Kim?
I don't have anything this evening.
Okay, let's see, so, report from the clerk treasurer.
Everyone has their expense and revenue reports for March, going down to the end of the year.
Does anyone have any questions on this part? Okay, so we've got some additional invoices.
We do, but we also have, we need to do transfers.
Oh,
We have a few for the warrant.
okay,
Okay, are we gonna do them all we'll just do them all at once?
sure,
Approval.
that's fine, yeah.
To 1410.4 clerk contractual 2,500, from A 8540.4 drainage 2,500, to A 1620.4 building contractual $200, from A 8540.4 drainage $200. To A 1640.4 central garage contractual $3,000, from A 5410.4 sidewalks $3,000. To A 5110.2 streets equipment $1,000, from A 5142.2 snow equipment $1,000. To A 5182.4 lighting district $1,500, from A 5410.4 sidewalks, 1,500. To A 8010.41 contractual codes officers, $2,630. From A 1310.4 youth program contractual, $1,460. And A 8540.4 drainage, $1,170. To F 8310.4 water administration contractual, 1,500. From F 8389.1 other personal services, 1,500.
May I have a motion to approve
So
these
moved.
transfers? Is there a second? Any questions on any of these? Discussion on anything? Roll call.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Malinsky.
Aye.
Trustee Connor.
Aye.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye.
A couple of these, there's more transfer, it's a little more than what we, needed for this abstract, but it will be enough to carry us through next month, which is our last.
Okay. Yep.
Let's do the abs, okay. So the abstract, we have additional invoices of $4,541.90 for a total warrant of $28,943.26.
May I have a motion to approve the warrant with the additional invoices?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Discussion? Questions? Nothing? Okay, roll call.
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Malinsky.
Aye.
Trustee Connor.
Aye.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye.
We do have a couple invoices. We have one for the main water line replacement project to fiscal advisors, $522. And for the wastewater treatment plant project, one to Barton and LaJudas for $1,472.50.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second? Second. All right, any questions on this? Roll call?
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Malinsky.
Aye.
Trustee Connor.
Aye.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye. Thank you, Juanita. Report from the superintendent. What you been up to, Mike?
Mostly streets. We did our monthly readings, found a few high readings on our water, people with issues. Let them know, toilets, need to be toilets. With the weather, we cleaned a few ditches, did some coal patching, some of the potholes, we still got a few, we did a little bit more this week, but we still got a few that we're gonna do. A lot of tree and brush issues, trees coming down with the winds and the storms that we had. We did start a little bit on spring cleanup. It's a little bit early, but we did start with sod, sticks, stones, garbage, shopping carts. We picked up 9 shopping carts today off the streets.
Did
It's
the ones
constant.
down at the end of Church
We
Street?
got them all today, nine of them.
Oh, okay,
It's
thank you.
just it's constant. People bring them, they don't bring them back.
Yeah,
We've got a lot of trees that we're gonna have to remove. But we started on some that we had issues, whether they've fallen or leaning or this kind of thing. But the ash, we're gonna have to start on sooner than later. Sewer plant, we had some pump issues at our main headworks. One of the pumps went down. We did have a pump that we were able to put in that we had rebuilt a couple of years ago. So we were able to get the pump in. We did have trouble with the panel, some electrical trouble. I had to get a guy here to take care of it for us. He did, he came out and got us fixed up. The pump that we pulled, we will be sending so we can get it rebuilt. The last one took 6 months to get parts. So I'm sure it's gonna be the same or longer. So we'll get it cleaned up and, get it brought back, that way it gives them time, that way we have a spare on hand. We still have one blower that's down at the sewer plant, still working on that, that's been a couple months now. Every week I'm talking to the fella, something with programming. If they can't get it, we're gonna have to get a tech here, probably at Albany, to try to get that fixed. They're supposed to alternate weekly, one runs, 7 days later, the other one starts, and that stopped happening, there's something with the programming. That's not right. The Hoover screen, we're still having trouble with that. That was put in with this project, that's been tripping. It was weekly, now it's stretched out a little bit longer, but it's still tripping. I mean, you call in the middle of the night, either I have to go do it, or if somebody's around, they gotta go do it, and we gotta pay them to overtime, 2 hours to go out and, to reset it. So we've been working to try to get this straightened out, and, I'm gonna have to get a hold of the engineers, cause somebody's gotta come and take care of this. It's gotta be fixed before this project's
Is that under
closed.
warranty at all?
Well, it's still brand new, and the project's not even
Why
finished.
don't they come and take care of it then?
We've been fighting this fight for a while, so,
Well, we're not signing off on this
right.
project until.
Well, probably doesn't matter too much now, cause like the grip pump, the contractors wouldn't come and do it, there's like $1,100 left. So there's not enough money, they wouldn't come do it, I ended up doing it in-house and got the grip pump moving, working that they've been here. It's not a good thing. So anyway, that's taken care of. We're gonna see on the relay, issue, I don't know, but they're gonna have to do something, put new parts in, do what they gotta do with it, we gotta get it fixed, it's gotta be right. There's still some work to be done down there, chemical pumps, there's still some stuff that has to be done in this project, but I believe the last time I talked to the engineers, there was like $1,100 left. That's all that was left in the budget for that to finish. Contractors wouldn't come back to do it, there's just no money, and we have to take it out of something else to pay them, so, a little discouraging. Other than that, the Peterbilt, the 2010, the old Peterbilt, we changed the oil pan, was changed, that was serviced. Front axle seal was leaking, it was built up with rust, that's been fixed. Hydraulic filter, air dryer, the air buttons on the dash went, we had to replace that. Now we're working on electrical, we got some lights that are out. We're working on that because we gotta get it inspected. We just had to buy a rear tire, it had a split, so, it just came in, we'll be putting rear tire on. Then once we get that up, inspected and going, our new Peterbilt, I gotta see what's going on with that, we got an air leak on the air dryer on that, but I don't wanna touch it until snow season's over. Just in case we got a sand that can't be down, so I'll probably wait a few weeks, we can use it, the air bleeds down, we gotta let it build. Once we let it sit, it bleeds down, so it's still usable, but it's gonna have to be fixed. Other than that, like I say, the trees, mostly the ash, they're dangerous. They've died, the bugs killed them, the woodpeckers got in, you can see they're all the bark is turning white where they peel the bark. And ash, you can cut an ash tree in a few days, it's already cracked, so as they're dying, they're coming apart internally, which makes them dangerous. Some I will take down, some of them are so big that I won't be able to take down, they're above power lines, you've got houses. So we're gonna have to look if the funding got taken away or whatever, we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do to get some of these big trees down that are dangerous. And we'll have to look at that as it gets closer.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't wanna see any fatalities or any falling on people's houses and this kind of thing, but I know if to get a tree company, it's unbelievable the cost.
Yeah.
Cause some of these are big. Other than that, we're getting ready for spring cleanup. We changed the wafers on the sweeper. That's ready to go. We're just, I don't really wanna start sweeping streets until, we know we don't have to sand anymore, so in the next few weeks here, we're gonna be going on, we're doing the big part of the cleanup now, where we gotta mow in the areas where we can clean up. I talked to the contractors today, they're supposed to come see me in a couple weeks. I think you're gonna see in the next, either the end of the month, probably they'll be back, so we can start on finishing up the water line. I know we've gotta do a cut-in on Route 9, for Kane Street, and I had talked to the asphalt plant, and they, possibly the end of April, but more likely the beginning of May before they open, so they won't be able to cut in the roads, obviously, until we can get asphalt to patch, so, we'll get that project squared away this summer, you know, get the cleanup, they'll get the cleanup done, sidewalks and, topsoiling and get everything back to where it should be. We'll be in better shape. Already, I'm gonna say that, I shouldn't say this too loud, but the not getting the calls in the middle of the night all winter for water running down Main Street, it's been pretty nice.
Yes, I'm sure.
You know, we've only had a few, and it wasn't in any of the areas that we, you know, changed. So we did get rid of a lot of all-nighters, which cuts down on the cost of the equipment, the cost of the guys, the cost of fuel, cost of everything, so it was nice to, I know it was expensive, but it was way overdue to get these lines changed of those bad sections that we had. That's really all I've got. I do have one purchase request, so I did, the PRV vault maintenance on all of our vaults, 7 vaults, and I have 2 vaults that I have to change the pressure reducing valves in them, inside the vaults. I have them closed off, so I did get a quote for the parts. So pressure reducing, the 2-inch pressure reducing valves are $2,327 a piece. But I need 2 of those, and I need 1 strainer screen. I've got one with a bad screen. So I don't know what the freight is. I mean, you've got over $4,700 in parts. I'm gonna ask the board if they can prove up to $5,000, and that'll give me enough. It's gonna be more than what I need, but I wanna make sure we're not under, because I'm gonna have to get them shipped here. They're at like a 2 or 3 week lead time. Something we have to have, but I got the quote, and I did call the gentleman today to find out the quote was still good, because he gave me a quote back in January, and then I had got a hold of him for last month's meeting, and he never got back to me, but those guys, the bunch of them were out with the flu, so they were, but he said no, the price still holds, so I'm asking the board if they could approve me up to $5,000 for the Ross Valve Corporation to get the parts that I need to rebuild to fix the PRV vaults that we have for our water system.
Is this the only place you can get these?
Yeah, that's where the vaults
That's
came
where
from,
they
they're a
come-
sole supplier.
So you can't get additional quotes
Right.
because it has to come from
It's,
them?
I think they call it sole supplier, I
Yeah.
think they call it,
Mhm.
yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And then what I'm gonna do with the 2 that I take out, I'm gonna see, I'm gonna bring them here and I'm gonna see if I can disassemble, see if I can save any parts and see if there's any way that I can get rebuild kits, or maybe I can rebuild it on the bench. And even if I can rebuild 1, and then if we got another one go bad, try that.
Yeah,
See how much the cost difference is,
Mhm.
because these are a whole valve, they're a flanged valve, you bolt them in, versus trying to take them apart inside the vault.
Mhm.
There's quite a bit to them, but I don't think it's much different than, you know, backflows and the other PRVs I have, so this is my plan is to get 2, and when I take those 2 out, disassemble, and get a breakdown, and then price the parts and see if I can put a rebuilt one on the shelf. At some point, we're gonna be swapping them.
yeah,
I mean, these have been in, since, well, came online in what?
17.
Yeah, so,
Mhm.
it's been 8 years.
Yeah.
I mean, things do wear, they always, you see, there's 2 valves in those, there's an 8-inch and there's a 2-inch. Because we have 7 feeding, we call it the bowl, but they're all directional, so they can only feed in, they can't feed out. I have them set, so at a certain pressure, they open and let the water in. If the pressure drops because people drawing it, it opens up. The problem is that just these smaller ones, they're the ones that are doing all the work, because they're the ones that are always being used. The bigger ones I have set for 10 pounds less than these, so if they get a fire or a big draw, then the big one opens. And the big ones hardly ever open. And that's why I have to do the valve, the maintenance on the vaults, because they stick, because they never get used. It's not like there's
Okay.
one, there's many. So the small ones can all make up with the big one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a wearing part, you know what I mean? It's something that's mechanical. So, I mean, I'm sure we're gonna have more down the road that we're gonna have to change, but that's my plan right now. Get two, put them in, take the other two out, and see if I can take them apart here, and if I can repair them
Okay.
in-house. So
All
let's
right.
try to save us some money.
Make a motion that we approve up to $5,000 for Ross Valve Manufacturing Company for the quotes per mic.
May I have a second?
Second.
Discussion or questions to Mike on how this, anything on this? No questions? Roll call?
Trustee Trombley.
Aye.
Trustee Malinsky.
Aye.
Trustee Connor.
Aye.
Mayor McFetrich.
Aye.
And that's all I have.
So, Mike, I'm just thinking, since you're on right now, do you wanna go over the EJP thing?
Oh, yeah,
Just-
so,
Just move this up, I gave everyone a copy, this is what we
So,
do annually. but-
yeah, every year since, I don't even know, 16, I don't even know when we started. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, like maybe.
So we have a vast program, value-added service. We buy our materials from EJ Prescott. There's no cost for the vast program. What it is, anything we buy from them, they keep in stock. So if it's something that we usually buy from them, they have it, they'll pull it. They'll pull it from somebody else to get it to us sooner. Being a vast customer, if there's a shortage, say on a certain brass, anybody to vast program gets priority, they would get it before anybody else would. When they bring stuff to me, if I could call them tonight and say, hey, I need whatever, an 8-inch valve, they would drive it up, there's no charge, no extra charge for that, that's huge. All the stuff we put in, they give us a 10-year warranty, replacement cost, so if we have we put these hydrants in, if we have a hydrant that goes bad, within the next 10 years, if it's something defective, they would give us a new hydrant. There's a lot of stuff with that, training, OSHA training. So last year we had leak detection done. They came and put leak detectors on certain valves. We had a whole day of that, and you can use it in different ways, but we did leak detection, we did a bunch of stretches of pipe to see if we have any leaks in those areas. What else? There's a whole bunch of like extras, we'll say, that they do that they don't charge us anything for. It's part of the program. The program doesn't cost us anything. The only thing is the stuff that they sell, we buy from them, they want us to buy it from them, which 90 whatever percent of the stuff we do. Some stuff obviously we don't anymore, like meters, because they don't carry that census anymore.
Right.
We have to get them from somebody else, but most of the stuff now, if we're in an emergency, I mean, I can go to somewhere else and get what I need, that's not an issue. But if it's like the regular stuff, we get it from them anyway. And like I say, they deliver here, there's no, and we know how the cost of that today is. It's the cost of, you know, I had pipe brought, so they drove a tractor trailer up and brought pipe, they didn't charge us anything extra, that's huge.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, a tractor trailer to come up, you're gonna pay probably $500 delivery fee or more, you know, so. But that's basically what it is, we did it every year, we've never had any issues. I've never had any issues, I don't think anybody else had any issues, but that's, it's an annual renewal, and this is our time of the year to renew it, so
Yeah.
that's basically what it is.
Yep, so could I have a motion from to renew this agreement?
I make a motion that we renew our sponge bath program with EJP.
And a second?
Second?
Any other questions on this program? It's been very beneficial. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
Keep up the good work.
Trying.
Please tell that to the guys too. All right, correspondence?
Stewart's holiday match donation of $600, Clinton County Treasurer's sales tax revenue, and correspondence from Stephen Dumanel requesting a wastewater credit.
All right, under new business, we have that wastewater credit. So you have that information. It does fit our qualifications, I believe. Robert was the one that checked on this.
Yeah, I was gone, I had Robert check it, it was an outside hose bib that froze and was running.
Okay, so this would be a sewer credit of $510.
I make a motion that we grant Steve Hinsell a wastewater credit in the amount of $510.
You have a second?
Second.
Any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. I'm just going to add one thing under new business, well, a couple things actually. What I'd like to add to our monthly agenda is a section on committees. So if the committee that you're on is doing something or has something to bring up or something to report, I'm gonna ask you to bring that up at the meetings. Right along with that, for Nikki and Kim, could you do kind of an analysis of the sidewalks? And then also talk to Mike probably about that. I don't know how much time there'll be and money for sidewalks, but so we can sort of have a plan of where we should proceed.
I just lost some in transfers.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I know, but I can still get plates and stuff.
The sidewalk work last summer was just incredible, and people are still talking about those sidewalks being safe and attractive and making downtown look a little better. So that would be one committee, and then the other one, and both of these are falling on Nikki, and this is also with Joel, but talking about the parks, and in particular the new little park. We'll have a bench, we'll have a tree or two. I know Mike and I have talked about, spreading the stuff out, but just some suggestions on how that might be put together. Once again, I would say talk to Mike about that too, what's doable and what's not. It's a pretty small space.
Do we know the property line?
I have something from the surveyor that is simple, but
Supposed to be pins there, but I have a
we
hard time
can't
to
find
find
the
them, but
pins.
I don't know when they tore the house down, what they tore up, you know.
Right.
Bless you.
We know about where they are, but don't know exactly without getting a
I
resurvey.
mean, we'll have to go with what Dean gave us and see if we can.
I mean, the only real way, you'd have to come out and you could remark it. Or
He
fine.
said that he thought that that was sufficient, what he gave me. You and I can talk about it. but-
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Bless you, Kim.
Excuse me.
Let's see, we did that. Yeah, okay, that's all I have for new business, and under old business, we have the purchase of the fire station. I have heard nothing. We basically turned it over to the lawyer, who's the lawyer also for the fire station, and I have heard nothing from him. And I don't believe that group has either. Food scrap collection program, we heard that nice presentation from Cody. We had, I think, 29 surveys returned. 4 of them weren't living in the village, but the rest, the 25, were, most of them, almost all of them were very much in favor of a food collection scrap program. So how does the board wanna proceed with this? I mean, we could get quotes on services, we could wait and see what the town does and partner someplace, because they're also looking at this. So there could be a collection site at the town office, or there could be one here that the town uses, or we could just plan on our own and get some quotes, monthly charges. How would you like to proceed?
Well, has a town proceeded at all with this?
They also had a good number of surveys returned.
Okay,
I'm thinking it was around 50. And I believe also people are in favor of the program. What do people think? I think it's really desired by the residents in the village and in the town.
right.
Would it be easier for them to come to the village than in the town? To drop off their scraps?
In terms of the village residents, you mean? I think that they would prefer to not have to go far from their homes with their buckets.
Right.
And put it into a real local collection site.
Guess just matter where we'd have the barrel or whatever it is.
I'm still thinking it might be a sewer plant.
Right here by the office front door.
Oh, yeah, right in front of where I park. Hope no one
Wouldn't
backs
you
it,
car?
hope no one backs into it,
Or drives into it.
or drives into it.
Could
Okay,
be messy.
for the public, we are joking about it being in front of the building. I thought maybe someplace down on River Street might be a possibility.
That's a good idea, out of the way.
Do you want me to get quotes? We know of 2 people that provide the service. I could look into that first.
I would definitely get some information on that.
Depending on the cost, it might be more beneficial if their town's gonna have it, to drop them there.
They may have a better location than we do.
We don't have a lot of real estate, it's part of our
Mm-mm.
issue.
Those people that were interested, are they able to get there?
I don't know. I would guess most of them probably are. 'Cause I don't think they're walking with their collection bucket. I mean, some will, some would, some will be,
Yeah,
some would be,
right.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know how far it is from here to.
It's not, town's not very far, it's
Not even.
not there, the building.
Well,
Maybe
how-
Chris could bring it when he goes from here to the. Here to the town. I'm just thinking if it costs an extra for an extra collection bin, it might be better to partner and do it in one location.
Right,
Mhm.
Right.
It's just a thought, but that's not.
Well, do you want me to get the prices and then also talk to the town and see what direction they're thinking of going?
That's a
And
good
then
idea.
see if, you know,
Right.
if we can work together on this?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's a good idea.
all right, that's what I'll do then. That's what I'll do. Anyone have anything else? Anything?
Nope.
May I have a motion to adjourn? We're done, wait, yes, what?
New business, light. Did you forget?
Oh, yes, yeah. Yeah. I think I better wait.
Next month.
Yeah, I think I better wait. We're working on a new light pole at Paquette Park by the gazebo to replace the one that's leaning.
That's a good idea.
And get something that's a better, fit in terms of the design of the gazebo and we have someone who's willing to donate about half of the cost of that. But, we haven't made any other kinds of decisions, so once I know a little more, I'll present it to you, I'll send it to you in an email. Okay, so I think we're ready for an adjournment. Have a motion?
so, second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.